Hey everybody, I'm back. My name is Sarah. I haven't made a video in a couple weeks. Told you all in my last video that the reason I haven't made a video is because I've been watching the playoffs. So there's a little break in the games, and so I decided to watch TNA tonight. I did watch a little bit of last week's TNA a few days late, but I did watch it. And we watched a little bit of Raw last week. But other than that, I really haven't been watching wrestling, and I really don't feel like I've missed anything. But I thought I would give you all my opinion on tonight's episode of Impact. So, I'm not going to do like a play-by-play review, but I will go through and tell you what I thought about some things. Let's just call this episode May 22nd the MVP edition. Felt like every segment had MVP in it. And I like MVP, like not my favorite by any means, but he's really good on the mic, he's entertaining, he never fumbles and gets confused like a lot of them do. You know, he does have that type of like authority feel, like he plays the part well. You know, he goes from the suit to the ring in a good way, more so than most people do in that position. But he was in the show a little bit too often. I'll get into that in a little bit. But the show starts out with him doing a promo. Actually, they're walking backstage and they like beat the shit out of Kaz for no reason. I'm a huge Kaz and Daniels fan. I know Daniels is already signed with ROH and he's going very soon, like next week or week after. But apparently Kaz is already gone as well, and they've just filmed all these things previously, and they're showing them now. So, like, it's kind of sad, but I did like how he was like, "Oh, hey, Chris," on the phone. That was funny. But anyway, I'm going to miss you, Kaz. Takes the comedy out of TNA a little bit. But, so you've got MVP, Bobby Lashley, and Kenny King doing their whole promo. Like, we're the shit. Yeah, we're cool. Money and respect and whatever. It's pretty much true. I mean, those things do rule the world. At least, you know, the assholes of the world. But they go on and on and on. And you can tell, like, MVP kind of just wants Kenny King to shut up. So I feel like there's going to be some issues there. I think it would be really cool in the future to see the three of them in a triple threat match. I don't see how anybody could honestly beat Bobby Lashley, but it would be fun to watch them try. But anyway, I've heard a lot of other people say this too, but it's like they're another version of Evolution. You've got MVP, who's the authority figure like Triple H. You've got Batista, who's the MMA guy like bodybuilder, not near as talented as Bobby Lashley, but he's like Bobby Lashley. And then Randy Orton, like the younger weird guy in the corner, who's Kenny King, that parties too much and does really stupid shit. It's true. They're a lot like Evolution. I think they're more entertaining than Evolution, but they're like Evolution because they whine and cry when they don't get their way. They have to bribe referees. They have to help each other out. When in reality, they're a lot more talented than the people that they're facing. And they say they want respect, but they won't just fight by themselves. So, very similar, the two groups. They also pick on, like, little dudes that could never beat them in real life, which leads me to my next person that comes in, Eric Young. I liked it at first. Like, I do like Eric Young. I think he's funny. He's definitely talented. Like, I'm not taking anything away from him. But he just feels like one of those champions that's just to pass the belt along to somebody else. Like a Chris Sabin. Remember that whole mess? You probably don't remember because it wasn't that important, right? So I liked it. I'm just ready for it to be over. I mean, I guess MVP is probably going to take the belt from him. I don't know. But I'll be ready whoever it is. You see on the Jumbotron that Dixie and Ethan Carter III arrive. And I love both of them. I know all of you hate Dixie Carter, but I love both of them. I think EC3 is fucking hilarious if you just listen to the shit he says. Anyway, I think that was like at a commercial break, but whatever. MVP and his crew are still talking, and so who interrupts? The wolves. Like, I've never really liked them, gotten them, whatever. I don't know the difference between them, which is funny because apparently MVP doesn't either. Because Davey, I have to look because I really don't know the difference. MVP calls him Eddie, and it's Davey. He's like, I'm Davey! Like a little kid. Like, you don't know my name, man! Just really funny. They fucking talk about how he lied to them or whatever. Like, he gave you a job. Shut up. Be happy. He's not picking on you. Like, right? You have belts. But, oh, how can we respect you? Blah, blah, blah. And then they conveniently go up the ramp to conveniently set up Bobby Lashley to spear Davey through a table, which was pretty awesome. But it looked pretty fake because they had to, like, carry him up there. Then he goes to the hospital. Boo-hoo. Ambulance shot. Whatever. I'm over the wolves. I'm just glad they weren't wearing their fucking fake, like, wolf head coat things. Those are fucking terrible. Oh, anyway, there's also another segment. I know this isn't in order, but with Magnus and his friend, whatever, Bram. I like this guy. I like this whole storyline with, like, Magnus's internal struggle between good and evil and what should I do and am I even relevant anymore? And, like, he's really kind of sad and, like, he actually hit Willow with the crowbar in the stomach, but then he couldn't bring himself to hit him in the head with it. Oh, beautiful, right? I think it's going to lead to some cool shit. I think that him and Bram are going to fight each other, or Magnus is going to turn out to be a heel and beat the shit out of him, or beat the shit out of Willow, or whatever. And speaking of Willow, I don't really know why this whole thing with Magnus is still going on. Like, I remember the drama between them. Jeff Hardy was still Jeff Hardy and he didn't get the belt. Whatever. But Willow is such a cool character. And you all know I'm a Jeff Hardy fan. Like, diehard. I really like watching him wrestle. But I really like watching Willow wrestle even more. Like, this is Jeff Hardy. Like, this is him in his truest form. He puts on that mask, and I feel like the crazy motherfucker that he is can come out, and he can be who he wants to be without, like, fitting the social norms and whatever. Sorry, I'm getting off on a tangent. But I like Willow. I think it's awesome. I like the intro with the black and gray camera shit. But I don't like how the commentators have to say, Jeff Hardy's alter ego, Willow. Why? Everyone knows it's Jeff Hardy, but why do you have to keep reminding us of that? He should be like, Willow. Just Willow. This badass motherfucker that's coming to kick your ass and laughs and screams and sings and whatever. It's cool. It's a cool character. He should also not have any allegiances. He shouldn't be a good guy or a bad guy. He's a fucking creepy guy. Like, let him fight random people. Let him beat the menagerie or whatever, which I'm a big fan of that too. I think it's awesome. But why just this Magnus thing over and over? It's like he's jobbing just to prove this point of Magnus being a bad person or whatever. Anyway, moving on to the beautiful people. I really enjoy watching the beautiful people because I feel like they're still stuck in the 90s. And they're beautiful, don't get me wrong. They're great. But, like, words written on your ass and, like, furry boots and awful blonde highlights. Like, that's a little bit late 90s, early 2000s. Needless to say, I did enjoy that, but the one thing that pisses me off, and I'm female, and you all are all probably going to bitch about this, because it's why I care, but I think the whole, like, Velvet Sky fucking Stifler in the corner so they can win the match, like, I think that's fucked up. Like, it just kind of bothers me. I get it, like, whatever, but every time you're fucking with the integrity of the sport, and you want us to believe that the management people, like, wouldn't pull out that ref and put in another one. Like, didn't we have a female ref a while back? Taryn, whatever. She was better, and she counted to 4 every time. But anyway, that's just a little pet peeve of mine. There's 2 different stories going on in video form through this show, and one of them is Sam Shaw and Gunner. So Sam Shaw's been in like the mental ward, locked up straitjacket style, sitting in a corner, and let me say he plays this character so well. Like, it's just great to me. But you've got Gunner in there, like, talking to him, and eventually it comes out that Gunner's friend had post-traumatic stress disorder and ended up there, and so Gunner spent a lot of time there, and I know all about you, and let's get you out of that straitjacket, buddy. That's where it ended. I love Gunner. I like Samuel Shaw. Like, I like both characters. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I don't know. I mean, I don't see them just being, like, best buds. Like, that's a little weird. Eventually they'll turn on each other, I'm sure, but I think it's going to be cool to see what happens. So the other video through the show is Mr. Anderson and James Storm. And Anderson invites him to a bar, and he's like, let's do something competitive because we're men and we're at a bar. Like, let's throw darts or play pool. And James Storm's like, I'll throw you in the video game. Whatever. I like heel Storm, but really. Let's have a drinking contest. That's a good idea. Which, by the way, that's awesome because that would never ever be on WWE, right? Like, they'd be like, let's have an apple juice chugging contest. Anyway, turns out that the whole time Anderson was, I think he said he was drinking light beer, but I thought maybe he was drinking water would be a more believable scenario. So, basically, he gets Storm drunk as shit and beats the fuck out of him and throws him in against the dumpster out back. Like, what a cool fucking bar that would let you film this segment in it. Like, that's really awesome. And he actually gives him the money that he owes him from the bet, because I guess he didn't drink as much as James Storm. Put a nice new crisp $100 bill in his mouth, which is fucking disgusting. Ugh, germs. Anyway, I think both those scenarios, like the mental ward and the bar thing, they're both really cool and like go places. Like, I think that's one advantage that TNA has over WWE, which I haven't watched WWE much lately, but judging by the fact that I watched it a couple months ago and I watched it now and it's the exact same storylines, I can probably say this fairly factually. The best thing about TNA to me is that they do these storylines that are not in the building, like these vignettes or whatever, like these crazy things, like when Willow and EC3 were out in the woods and shit. That's entertaining, and that's something that they can do like beforehand so that they have more time to set up the show. And I think that's just funny and it's entertaining, and it usually leads to like a more in-depth storyline than we would normally get. The last time I really remember that happening in WWE was the whole Daniel Bryan Kane like counseling session shit. So I do really like that. My personal opinion, you all tell me what you think. Next we see Eddie Edwards versus Kenny King, and they weren't like he's coming out like, oh, I'm gonna fight somebody you sent whatever his name is to the hospital, let me fight one of you. Kenny King comes out. I thought it was kind of boring, but I don't really like Kenny King or the other guy, so maybe that's why. It feels like there's so many people missing. Maybe that's why like the show just seemed a little bit off this week. It was good, but it seemed a little bit off. Like Kurt Angle injured, whatever. And then I read online that Samoa Joe's taking some time off, and he's got this website where you can like watch him play video games. Anyway, we see MVP talking to Brian Hebner, like, because he pissed him off last week or whatever. So he's like, you, in roundabout way, like, make sure that you don't fuck this up for Bobby Lashley tonight. Like, let Bobby Lashley win. You really have to go to the referee to make sure that Bobby Lashley doesn't lose to Eric Young. Like, why? That, it really wasn't even part of the match. Like, it really didn't even matter if Brian Hebner, like, I don't know, why. Bobby Lashley would kill him. You needed to go and be like, hey, can you make sure that Eric Young doesn't die tonight because I can't afford any fucking lawsuits. That would have been a better conversation. So, the main event comes, and it's Eric Young and Bobby Lashley. Guess what? MVP and Kenny King come out again for the 47th time in this episode. Right? Somehow or another, Dixie comes out with Bully Ray. I don't even know. That might have been before, but either way. Dixie and Eric Carter, Bully Ray, and they're still all putting each other through tables and shit that's been going on for a while. But Dixie, in like a sexual way, is like, I'll make an offer to you, talking to MVP. He's like, I banned both of you from the Impact Zone. What are you doing here? Like, bitch, I own this motherfucking business. I'll come wherever I want. Right? Anyway, I'm anxious to see what this offer is. I know that a lot of you don't like Dixie Carter. And I get it. Like, her character's pretty abrasive and obnoxious. But I fucking love her. And maybe it's because I'm from the South. I don't know. But, like, nothing like a bitchy fucking Southern lady with a lot of money and a lot of power, right? She's awesome. And I know, like, a lot of you like Stephanie McMahon and you don't like Dixie Carter. Like, what's really the difference? I mean, I know Dixie Carter has a lot more plastic in her face than Stephanie McMahon, but give it a few years and they'll probably be even. I'm on Team Dixie, I guess. Dixie Carter fears no one. I like that new thing. Then you've got, like, them running to the limo and Bully Ray's, like, chasing, like, clutching his stomach because EC3 put him through another table. Just made him look really kind of weak and, like, why would he, like, laying in the parking lot like, no, I didn't catch them. Anyway, I've watched a few reviews of this Impact because I didn't watch it till late anyway. But almost everyone is commenting on the fact that MVP was on the show too much. Him and his crew or whatever posse. So, I agree. I do. I just don't think it's so bad. Like, I get it. It was too much. But at the same time, you're trying to show that you're the dominant force. You're the dominant faction. Like, you're there to fuck shit up and you've got your hand in everything and you've got all the power. They did their job in that. Like, they proved that tonight. So, I don't think they'll keep it up. I hope they don't. I don't want to see those three in every fucking segment. They don't have a lot to do with everything. But he is the director of wrestling operations. So, it does make sense in a storyline standpoint. Also, the same people that are bitching about this are the ones that, like, love Evolution and, like, this whole bullshit storyline and all the bullshit storylines on WWE. It's the same stuff. Like, Evolution, Shield, Daniel Bryan, Usos, whatever. It's the same combination. Oh, fucking Wyatt family. Forgot about them. Like, okay, let's have John Cena fight Bray Wyatt tonight. And later tonight we'll have Daniel Bryan fight the other fucking Wyatt. And then another Wyatt fight an Uso or whatever. Like, it's the same group of people fighting the same group of people. You just don't feel it as much because it's a 3-hour show. So you've got, like, throwing an extra 3 people to fill in that other hour, and it doesn't feel like it's one thing on top of the other thing. I mean, I get it. Too much MVP. I get it. But I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people are saying it is. So basically, I am going to try making more videos. Like, I really appreciate everyone that subscribed to me, because I haven't made a lot of videos, and I need to, and I'm planning on it. It's just so hard when the playoffs are on and they're so much more entertaining. But as always, I appreciate you all for watching this video. I know it got a little long, but I did enjoy the product tonight, and I hope you all watched it, and I hope you watched my video, and I hope you have a nice day.